A very good morning once again from the sports desk. The 44th Cape Town Cycle Tour is well underway and it's back to its traditional date on the cycling calendar. This after an October event last year. We've got 22,500 entries confirmed for the 2022 race, which is happening today. In 2020, the cycle race was the last event before the hard lockdown in South Africa, and of course that was because of the ongoing pandemic. We're joined again by our reporter who's out in the mother city, Justin Ford. Good morning to you once again, Justin. So, of course, we saw one of the social races, I think it was, that took off while you were still speaking to us. We've had the elite and we've had the tandem. Just speak to us about the atmosphere out there as people are getting back to a race that they know at a particular time that they're used to, you know, of course, and in the great numbers that they know.
Struggling to hear you a bit there, Morena, but nonetheless, we actually just saw the specials class leaving the start line at the moment. So basically, they are the hand cyclists, as well as some of the tandems that are doing it for charity. So an exciting time. They've gone off. The rain has disappeared for now. A bit of wind to contend with, but the atmosphere is electric as always here. Some fans being able to come out and enjoy the start of the cycle tour and hoping to cheer on their family, their friends, and hope that they just enjoy that 109 kilometers around the peninsula.
Justin, preparations for the cycle tour that has returned to its normal March date. Any challenges that Dave Bellairs and his team have been facing?
They've been actually very upbeat about it. Yesterday when I collected my media accreditation for the race for today, I had just briefly chatted to him. It just feels like it is an exciting time to return to what many have referred to as the new normal. And I think, the fact that they are able to have hospitality tents again compared to last year in October where it was none of that. The current lockdown regulation still says that only 2,000 people are allowed at outdoor events. We don't see as many people lining the streets at the start line. I'm sure along the route people will also be out. But I think from a preparation point of view, they are back to normal. They are happy. They haven't had any issues. Yesterday there was a slight power outage in Cape Town and the surrounds, sort of Camp Space, Sea Point area. I had spoken to him as well when that had happened, asked him if anything affected him. Thankfully not. The expo continued at the Cape Town Stadium and they were using generation power from the Cape Town Stadium. So no issues whatsoever for Dave Bellairs and his fantastic team. So it's all systems go. And following this, we'll move off to the finish line where we'll hopefully start seeing the elite men and elite ladies finish their race.
A guesstimation, Justin, of the spectators. I mean, you're mentioning obviously 2,000 people being allowed to attend such events. I mean, is it looking like a kind of number that says we couldn't come out because of the weather, or is it just a number of people that couldn't come out because, we are still in a pandemic, so there is that hesitation?
I think it has to be the former this morning, Morena. The fact that overnight there was a bit of rain and it's not necessarily cold, so I think we're going to have to put it down to a bit of the weather. What the rest of the route looks like, I'm unsure at the moment, and hopefully I'll get some answers for you a bit later on. But I think for now, we will have to put it down to the weather. Generally, we'll have sort of the precinct where the cyclists will line up packed to capacity. In fact, where we're standing as well, just family members. For now, not even 100, just lining as they head off onto the M3. So for now, let's put it down to the weather and hopefully, they do get that support, because that's another thing, especially the social riders is something that they enjoy being cheered on. Sometimes this race can get a bit tough. The elites, however, for them, it's head down and they don't just need to worry about any fans along the route. So let's hope they do get a bit of support, because I think they're going to need it during this 109-kilometer race.
We're going to be coming back to you in about 2 hours' time. When we speak, who are we going to be expecting to have come through past the finish line?
Well, by now we would expect that the elite men and women would have finished their race. They generally look at sub-3 in terms of completing their race. Whether the rain has affected their race is unknown right now. About a half an hour ago, we heard they were sort of hitting the Simonstown area, which is roughly about 30 kilometers into the ride already. So the men and the ladies is who we are expecting to see. And, you know, failure to that, we'll chat to Dave Ballet. Just give us a quick update as to exactly how the race has been thus far, when we can expect the winners. And if the winners have arrived, hopefully we can chat to them. Nolan Hoffman chasing a record equaling 5th Cape Town Cycle Tour. There's the likes of Kim Lecourt, who won the race last year. And hopefully she can, you know, just double up in her efforts to win the race again.
Just before we let you go, Justin, there was huge excitement last year, and I know from you as well as you were covering it, that we had the return of the cycle tour, although it was still, you know, just before the Omicron variant came through in South Africa. So, you know, there was massive excitement around this event coming back, considering that it was dropped down from March to October. Are we seeing an improvement in terms of participation, in terms of excitement between October and now in March?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Morena. The fact that we now have close on 4,500 more cyclists involved today, that's a start. I visited the expo yesterday, which is often quite a big thing. It starts on Friday, Thursday in the afternoon into Friday and Saturday, where they can collect the race packs, exhibitors all around. And it really just reminded me of, you know, the cycle tour of old. So definitely the excitement is around. You know, cyclists are, despite the weather conditions, put on extra jackets. They really decided to come out and enjoy themselves, and this is something that they really do enjoy. The world's largest timed cycle race is what they call it. And, you know, whether or not, pardon the pun, these guys are out there to really have fun, and it really is something that's important on these events calendar of Cape Town. They pride themselves on the events out here in the Mother City. You know, just listening to early morning addresses by the Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis, as well as the Premier Alan Windey. Just really excited to be able to have all these participants from around the country, from around the world. There's quite a big complement of British riders from the UK, the Americas, all have come out to enjoy themselves. So definitely an excitement feeling in the Mother City.
Of course, it is an exciting feeling. Justin, thank you so much. And you can obviously understand the excitement, because this is somewhat of an indication that South Africa is getting closer to normal. You know, we've lived in abnormal for the last 2 years, and the cycle tour, of course, is an indication that we're going back to that normal. That is our reporter, Justin Ford, who is, of course, coming to us from the Cape Town Cycle Tour, the biggest timed cycle race in the world. We will be catching up with him at 9:30 to just get an update, to see who the winners are, to hear from the winners, hopefully. But I will be back in the next hour with a normal bulletin. Ladies?